It is one of the suite of insurance products that's available in the market. For that specific reason, we tend to employ specialists to help clients manage their risk. That's our main aim, is to assist the broker and the client to understand the risk transfer mechanisms available to them when they execute large complex engineering projects. So that's specifically one of the focus areas that we will be looking at over the next couple of months through this initiative, is to help clients just to realize that we are there for them to help them set their insurance risk strategy. Our view is a bit different. Our view is get us in there quickly, get us in there up front, because as soon as you set the correct insurance strategy for a complex or a multi-phase project, that will help you not only mitigate your insurance cost, your insurance spend, but it will help you optimize the risk transfer mechanisms available to you. We have a team that are specialists in the electrical engineering field, civil engineering field, geological field, and the structural field. So we can pretty much, with the set of expertise that we've got, cover most projects or project developments. The engineering bouquet of insurance needed to cover a project varies. So you'll typically start with something like a construction all risk, or as they know it in the States or in Europe, a builder's all risk. You have also got the extension to that, which is called an erection all risk, which is your mechanical part. But then that is associated with a couple of other products that tie into that. For example, your yellow kit, your plant on site, the mobile cranes, the tower cranes. That's a different set of policies that comes into play. There's also the professional risk, professional design risk, professional errors. That's your professional indemnity risk. Your third party or general liability, which is the liability associated with your work. The import and export component of your project, that's your marine cargo. You've also got considerations around your location, your geographical location of your site. What happens if you've got a catastrophic event in that area? You know, often people sell you emergency response as a red telephone. I've worked on projects where people thought that they had the correct cover, and the consequence of that is if there's an outbreak of disease or there's a tragedy on site, a complex event on site, people die. So what you've got to do is you've got to be forward thinking in your risk management. You've got to put stuff like emergency response plans in place. For example, the Mozambican airspace closes at 6 at night. So if you've got an event where somebody needs to be air ambulanced, evac out of Mozambique, if you have not made the plans beforehand, you will not land until 6 the next morning. And 12 hours could be a critical window to save life and limb. There are many brokers who have obviously been around the product through the years, who are well versed in the product, but we know we live in a dynamic environment and more brokers enter the broking fraternity. So that's where we really want to focus. We want to focus on the assistant component, on the value creation that we can bring to them. It will mean that we will go with them to their client. It will mean that we will sit around with a project planning team. It will mean that we will have several sessions with them to optimally plan and set the strategic direction for the insurance. This product can give the owner principal-controlled control over his insurances. That ultimately means he not only manages the cost of insurance, but can also manage the cost of his ultimate project. Our main aim is to assist the client to prevent the claim. So that's why we've got this drive in us, we've got this keen focus in us to help clients to realize that risk control, risk management, risk focus, the better we get that process, we lessen the possibility of the event of the claim in actual fact happening. But if the claim happens in the event, then we go with the broker, we play the scenarios through with the broker and the client. The client understands his position in terms of the contract. If we are not clear about what those terms, conditions, and exclusions are, we are not treating the customer fairly. That is the ultimate focus, is to get the project completed in due course and on time. The insurance component, as we've stated earlier, insurance is but one risk transfer mechanism. But as we mentioned earlier, if you don't understand the nexus between how you've transferred that insurance responsibility, the actual effectiveness of the product at the end of the day when it needs to operate can be diluted. So that's the type of keen focus we like to bring around the table to the client and the broker.